about one controversial politician, a nominated one, of course. If you can guess who is this lady. So I hope all of you know her within Nairobi. So can you guess before I can share? Yeah, so actually I normally wonder, how do people come to nomination? Is it out of support? It seems to me nomination of individuals into the government, yeah? Possibly one qualifies by being very vocal, maybe, and being a major campaigner. They call them chief campaigners. Some of them act as agents during the election time, and so nomination, they are directly nominated into a given party. And of course, I understand the nomination process happens after officials within a given party suggest somebody for a position. Now, I wonder what they consider during the suggestion. Like, before I suggest somebody to be chosen as a leader, we've seen MPs who are nominated, governors, we've seen situations of, representatives in different places. So, of late, we have some nominated members who are often letting down given parties because of their sentiments or how they conduct themselves. Sometimes, their appearance generally is disheartening, or rather brings a lot of disquiet to those who are watching. Yeah, so we've had several examples of such people are nominated, and whenever they go into political meetings, whatever they say brings down the government in one way or the other. Now, of course, if you're following me, then you understand what happened lately. I had restrained a lot to talk about this because actually this nominated lady has been in negative books only. And of course, there are several statements she has given that she has been forced to apologize, yet she still goes on and on. Now, the latest scandal has led to this, and I want you to tell me whether we should have now rules on nomination. Like, when they are nominating somebody, shouldn't they think about the consequence or the results? Like what this person brings on board? Or do they just look at somebody as being vocal? They look at beauty, maybe. They look at, such things. Now, let's just look at this video quickly because it happened yesterday again. And from there, we can come back to a discussion and help me. Those who are online, I can see 7 people on board. Yeah, help me to see why nomination happens and how can we deal with this irate, yeah? We have irrational kind of nominated leaders. Let's just look at this clip and you'll know exactly whom I'm talking about. Welcome on board. We now have, 13 people. Player says who? And I say hi. All right. Where are you from, Player? Okay, so let me just show the screen a bit. And then from there we can proceed. And we discuss more on this matter. Yeah, so look at this. It happened yesterday. Chandu, the life of a travel. Hi, how are you? From South Africa, Claire? Okay, thank you, Chandu.
Derogatory, inflammatory language, public attackation, and disrespectful
conduct. Okay. I really long to be in South Africa anyway. Chandu is from India. Welcome on board.
Of the office that she holds. As a representative of the people, Senator Karen NYAMU has a responsibility to uphold standards of decorum and respect. Yes. Her words and action reflects poorly on the Senate and undermine the trust that citizens place in their elected officials. Yes. We cannot tolerate such behavior that degrades public discourse and erodes the undertaken sensitivity training or resign from her position.
All right. So guys, you got that. So you now know whom I was talking about. That is Karen NYAMU, the senator. She's a nominated lady, by the way. Very beautiful. But when it comes to her sentiments, as you've just heard, derogatory statements, absurd, yeah? Absurd statements come from her every time. Like, I don't know whether you saw the recent aspect, just before the president began the, the tour across Mount Kenya region. Oh my God, sometimes when people turn to their mother tongue, they think people will not get what they are saying. Welcome on board. I can see we had about 17 people. Some have, I can't see you anymore. But Chandu, the life of a travel. That title is suggestive. Do you travel a lot? Okay, so I'm loving the audience from India. I have a very large following from India. Today I have someone from South Africa, and I hope South Africa is okay with us. Of course, we love South Africa being the greatest nation in Africa. Okay, so as I proceed, I'm talking about Karen NYAMU. What do you feel about her, by the way? Even if you're in India or South Africa, have you heard about this senator known as Karen NYAMU? And I'm going to show you something and then just disclose what exactly she was talking about. Now, when you look at this lady, she's a very young lady. And of course, people are against Gen Zs, talking about Gen Zs lacking respect and all that. What about Karen NYAMU? Is she actually a Gen Z? Because when I look at her, she is an adult. And of course, from her age, she should be somebody who is reasonable. And once you get into a political situation, I don't understand why she behaves so different from the rest of the political leaders. Yeah? Yeah. So there is a time she was even posted for twerking, right? And you understand all of us wouldn't wish to see our daughters twerking. And if you know that dance, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know, forget about it anyway. I always say that because there are things when you are a politician, you are a role model, of course, right? Yeah, so in India, do you allow somebody to, as a politician, to twerk in public? Do you allow them to just give sentiments? Chandu, the life of a travel. We need to have that discussion later. Currently, let me just try to focus on this reaction. Then I can see what we can have on board later. Then player, I've lost you. You're not still, are you still on board? South Africa for us. I would wish you invite more people on board so that we continue engaging in this live discussion. All right, so looking at that video, these women were so much agitated, and of course they are demanding that Karen NYAMU should be resigning. If not, she should be apologizing in public. Now, I wonder, the first time she did mention something about tampons, you remember? And many people in Kenya began to call her Demwa tampon. You remember? And these are not issues that actually we talk in public unless you are sensitizing people on sanitary aspects. Then we do not expect that you're going to be talking in public about what you use. Now, she went on and said, of course, naitwa Demwa hii and all that. Like, she apologizes and again, later on goes on to spoil the broth. Yeah? How do you cook? You spoil the stew, then you again continue spoiling the broth. Yeah, welcome on board the people live. I will wish to have more. Subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed to it. I really love to see more people on board because this encourages me to keep working and handling more topics, political, academic, and social. Yeah. So, as I look at this video, then I'm like, okay, people need to shape up because now Karen NYAMU needs to shape up, of course. The agitation she has created is not only among these women, but everybody on board. If, of course, Chandu, the life of a travel player and everybody on board. Have you ever followed this lady? You need to go search Karen NYAMU, a senator from Kenya, nominated, of course. She was not voted by anybody. And as I've told you, nomination happens when people suggest you in a given party, and of course, then they pick you. I don't know whether vetting happens. I'm yet to understand this, but I wish vetting would be done in terms of character. Of course, character in Kenya is a very large thing. When people talk of character, you would wonder what it means. Whether character is physical appearance, I don't know. Whether character is about what you do, what you say, how you conduct yourself. And I don't know, before they picked on this name, didn't they have another option? Because now this is an, you know, like you find a monkey in in Parliament. If you look at the book, The Samaritan, I'm not calling anybody names here, but I'm just using the literature from the book, The Samaritan. If you read it, you understand what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so if I just show you another video about Karen NYAMU, this is a lady who does not understand the boundaries between who she is and what she should do. So I'm going to get another video here just to show you. What really agitated people recently is this, this video here. She was shooting with Njoroge, and I don't know whether it will allow me to expand. Let me just try it. And because it was more on the TikTok and all that, then from there we can see. Yeah, so let me show you that video before we proceed in our discussion. You hear? This is the video that has really trended on NYAMU. Are you seeing that finger?
So watu wote wakuje Sagana.
Okay, did you hear that? And of course you've read just below my screen. Whatever she was saying in Kikuyu, it was tuliguza mlima na tumerudi sasa kuwaweka kidole kwa I can't say it, all right? It's very disgusting. Very disgusting from a senator, right? I wouldn't be a senator and say such a statement. And this is quite despicable, because she seems to look down upon the Mount Kenya people and even the general Kenyans. How do you say such statements when she will be going to other areas, let's say the coast region, western region, east, you know? I don't know what she's going to say, because you can see that finger and exactly what she's saying. It doesn't sound very palatable to the ears. And I wonder how she can be comfortably taking a video with Njoroge, wherever he is. And of course, bringing the pastors into the discussion. How do you say that? My goodness. I don't think this lady really fits in the office. She's very uncomfortable. She's very unsuitable, I would say that, not uncomfortable. For her, she's comfortable. Of course, she's taking the juice, and of course, they always say taking her piece of meat, or is it piece of cake? I don't know why people use a piece of cake in political matters when you're having shares as a leader. So she's, of course, having her piece of cake in this government. But does Karen NYAMU really deserve to be a senator? Nominated senator, yeah? Does she deserve to be one? Looking at her statement there, for those who do not understand Kiswahili, she talked about they went there, they held or touched the mountain. Eh? You remember the common statement, tulikuza mlima, from Gachagua. So she's saying, tulikuja tukakuza mlima. Of course, we held or touched the mountain, that is Mount Kenya, and now we've come back to put our finger in there behind. I won't say the specific words actually, but how do you feel when such a statement is given by a leader? So disgusting, right? So this is one of the statements that really annoyed the young ladies, and they came to Rampage, they came to media, they are releasing a press saying that this lady dresses badly. Badly. I don't know whether you can get the videos, but I'm just encouraging you to go search on Karen NYAMU and see how she dresses up. Of course, we have a given dressing for people in government because, you know, they have that decorum that is just beyond what we have, right? Yeah, so these ladies were so agitated and they were saying, Senator, we will really pinch you. Or rather, we will squeeze. Yeah, that's what they were saying. We will squeeze you. And you dress badly. That's what they said in Kiswahili. Tutakufinya na unavaa vibaya. And now they were making demands. You either resign or you should apologize to the public and then go for what? Go for that training on sensitization, on how to speak, on how to conduct yourself. And of course, that is what Karen NYAMU needs. And this is why I was really asking, why was she nominated? Wasn't there any other lady suitable for this post for her to have been picked? She has messed so much that I even wonder that they would give her a room to apologize. I wouldn't expect an apology from such a lady. Yeah, because the statements she are giving are unsuitable. In fact, it makes her look like somebody fitting in the homosexual relations. Because how would you talk about putting your finger? Yeah, that is uncouth. Yeah, a language that is unsuitable for the public, right? Yeah, so I don't know what is going to happen from now on. The party itself, are they going to think of what to do to her? Are they going to think of replacing her? Imagine impeachment of Gachagua was based on how he talks. Now, I wonder why people are not demanding that this one is impeached. But nomination, you know, it's easy to replace. We don't have to have impeachments because this one was not actually elected. There was no voting. Some people just suggested her name, and she came up as a senator. But she's unsuitable. Now, let me look for a video here and show you just what exactly she did so that you can see what I'm talking about. You don't think that I'm just venting my emotions here. Yeah, so this is the video, another video to show what the senator can do. Okay, so you see that one. In fact, that is not what I aimed to show you, but you can actually see even in that video and what she's talking about there. Yeah, so of course people laugh a lot sometimes when she speaks. She stands to speak. I remember there's a time after the Gen Z's demonstration and she was there saying, the girl I support called me saying she had gone to take videos, you know, and all that. And we are like, okay, so you don't see what is happening. Then she went to apologize. And now there is another podcast showing her as dishonoring. And there are so many, of course, I wouldn't finish. So just find out about Karen NYAMU. And I think it's high time that her party, or rather those who proposed her name, should think otherwise and have somebody fit to come in. Because whatever she's doing, she's letting down the women gender. Yeah, she's creating a historical aspect that people would say now, if you pick a woman, they'll behave like she did. If you pick a woman, these are the sentiments they'll give. If you pick a woman, this is what they'll do, right? Yeah, so everybody deserves to be a leader, but when you are given that room, especially on the higher cadre of the political party you are representing, Kenyans, citizens, we should see you in a different picture and it should be a positive one, right? Yeah, so guys, this is something we should talk about, not just me. And in whichever country you come from, I've seen people from India here, South Africa, and other countries. Actually, This is a discussion that is worth, so that as you nominate people into leadership, let them be worth from how they speak, how they interact, and what actually they show. You remember the other day, in fact, this Jama from Kayole decided to bring a ring in public and was forcing to her finger, because she's just a caricature in parliament. So of course it was a night hour, and this guy was there forcing a ring to NYAMU Karen's finger, and she was there laughing and of course saying, you are doing this, you had planned, oh, this is not a new ring, you see. I don't know whether any leader can do that. And of course we have other leaders we should talk about, but for now, let's focus on Karen NYAMU. And if we have friends who can advise her on what to actually do and how to conduct herself, it better be. Thank you for being on board and staying tuned to this. The discussion can continue another time, but for now, that's the much I've been able to share with you. Thank you for coming on board. I'm appreciative everybody who came on board. Thank you, and may God bless you. You don't know what it means by coming to my channel, watching what I'm doing, and I really encourage you to also subscribe, because I have so many people who watch, but they don't subscribe. And the subscription helps also to enhance, the analytics and all that. So bye-bye.